All right, can you hear me a little bit better now, everybody? Sorry, I will get this fixed tomorrow. I have a new mixer coming in. My mixing board fried, so I actually literally plugged my mic into the back of my computer, and
Oh, damn.
this is as best as it's going to get. I apologize. The people on Skype right now actually can hear me just fine, but for you guys, I have to talk into the microphone, so it's a little bit better. Sorry about
Don't
that.
You don't need a mixer, by the way. You can just get you're using an XLR mic,
Yeah.
right? Then you could just get an interface. Like I've got an audio box, a PreSonus audio box, but you can also get whatchamacallit,
Look what I'm trying to do
there's a
here.
few other
And
ones.
this mic is so you guys can hear me on Skype, and this is the mic I'm actually having to broadcast through. Jerry rigged to hell and back.
What the?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a little.
That's what I'm saying. I will get it fixed tomorrow. The new mixer's coming in. It'll be fine. It's great.
This reminds me of that picture with the guy with the old Nokia cell phone with it rubber banded to his head is like a ghetto hands-free system.
It was completely ghetto. Okay, everybody. I'll just shut up. I'm going to say real quick what we're here, what we're doing, and then I'll let the other guys talk because you guys can't hear me very well. So what we're doing is a post-cast cast with the cast of StarCast. Did I do that right, or did I forget?
We got some Inception level.
I think you
shit
forgot a
going
couple
on
of
here.
casts.
I forgot a couple of casts, but that's all right. And so what we're going to do is talk about what they didn't talk about on the Star Citizen live event that just happened. That was a fiasco, way worse than ours. At least
That we know of.
skipping.
They may have talked about it, and we just didn't hear it.
Exactly. And unfortunately, they didn't consult any of us for how to stream. They just kind of went with their own thing. They wingmanned it, and that's what happened.
Yep.
For those watching tomorrow, you're going to watch the whole thing. You're like, I don't know what anyone's bitching about. But for tonight, it was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, we
Alright.
couldn't even watch the entire thing.
So go ahead amongst yourselves. I'll just nod a lot.
Well, that 40-minute live stream took a good 2.5 hours out of my life. But I think still the most interesting thing that I saw on the live stream was definitely the organizations, the way that they handled it, the way that they had all the dynamics set up. I mean, it just blew me away right there.
Yeah.
I guess they can hear me now. Okay. Oh, yeah, it was quite frustrating. As a regular streamer, my Geekdomo channel here is pretty new, but I have been streaming for several years now. And I will tell you, as a streamer, you do not use YouTube streaming under any circumstances unless Google themselves have given you Google Fiber. Now, here's the ironic part. They're in Austin, Texas, and you would think that they have Google Fiber with a gigabit upload, and it still couldn't handle a stream that I'm running right now on a 5 megabit per second upload, and it's doing just fine. So they need to
Especially at a convention.
At a convention.
You know, specifically for this thing, in a venue that should be able to handle it anyway. And why didn't they test it? I mean, this is downright SimCity level shit right here.
Oh, yeah.
Why the hell was it not tested? If it's that important, I mean, this is... Okay, here comes my rant. I'll get it out of the way.
Yeah, go. Open it, Dane.
Go.
Unlock the missile silo and let it rip.
Susie 9mm. The biggest problem I have with this is that there is no reason that a company as dedicated to being so transparent with their user base and communicating so heavily with their user base, there's no reason this should have happened. It should have been tested first. And if anyone at that company says it's okay, it'll be fine on the YouTube stream tomorrow, you do not get to hype an event like this to the extreme that you did for this, to get everybody into the live stream and then have this be the level of shit that you shovel on top of everybody. Absolutely horrible. It makes the company look like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, if you were going to do it like this, just don't even stream it. Just record it and put it on YouTube. It looks thousands of times better than what we were given now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've said my piece. There we go. Go ahead. I'm done.
He's slept over there.
God, don't even start me. It's okay. Go ahead.
Yes, I totally get where you're coming from And you know, everyone keeps throwing around these numbers like we gave them 21 million, they can't even stream. Well, you got to realize it's not that money didn't necessarily go to just streaming.
Right.
21 million for better streaming.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, look, I'll say it right now. I'll forgo the 22 million stretch goal of Infinite Realities just for them to be able to stream.
But that's the unfortunate part. They are in Austin, Texas, one of the only 2 places in the country that have Google Fiber, which is a 1,000 up and 1,000 down, which is crazy fast. I mean, you could run a server farm with that kind of speed, and they couldn't do a stream. So somebody somewhere didn't know what they were doing with streaming, like how to set it up, how to make it work, whatever.
I'm going to make myself feel better now.
Okay, so should we just go through,
Yeah.
starting from the beginning, about so I guess this is a bunch of fluff. Most of the live stream that we actually got to see was fluff. So the beginning was just their little thing, and then they had a spiel about how they were developing the economy, which they didn't really give us any new information in that part. And then they had the main bit, I think, was about the organizations, which looks fantastic. I gotta say, the amount of maneuverability and just options that they're giving people. I mean, they're even giving us like ways for us to brand and really customize our own page, and then incorporating the application process into the website itself so that we can manage members. And then having all of that stuff transfer into the game. I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff.
It's huge.
I'll try to find a clip to show, but the clips are really bad, everybody. They stutter every few seconds, so I'll try to dig something up here real quick.
Well, in the meantime, who in the chat was excited when they saw the freaking Retaliator?
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
We can go talk about that. I do have footage of that. So yeah, there's 2 new ships that they did release, but they never mentioned them. I think it was probably somewhere in the cast. Here's what I think happened. I think the cast was so far behind and lagged out so badly that the show was over. And we were all watching stuff that had happened like 30, 40 minutes ago, and by the time they go, oh yeah, let's turn the switch off, they didn't realize that it was that far back. So, so yeah, let's check out the Retaliator. What do we got here? Pretty sexy, huh? $250.
Yes, sir.
Anybody want
Looks
to go over
good.
the specs or what they think about it? It looks a little bit like a constellation, doesn't it?
it is around the same size as a Constellation. It has 5 TR5 thrusters instead of the Constellation's TR6s, but we believe that it'll be almost as fast as a Constellation itself. However, the truly impressive part is the Tier 5 hard points that you can fit on it.
Yes.
12
That's going to be
Tier
awesome.
5 turret hard points.
This thing is going to be loaded. My
Yes.
God,
You
this
think
thing's
it'll
going
be
to
a
pack
glass
a
cannon,
punch.
or is it going to be? It's going to be
Oh,
like
no.
a B-52 bomber with a lot of different guns all over.
I mean, it's going to be like a super
Porcupine.
fortress.
Yeah, yeah, Super Fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've already commented on being able to. It has a cargo hold of around 30 ton, which is 5 ton less than the Constellation. But you can forgo putting actual. You can forgo the bombing bay, and actually use those 30 tons of cargo. And have it as a freighter or as a gunship or something more akin to that. And then technically it would be a Constellation in spirit with a lot more guns.
It's a Constellation with a lot more guns. So it's a very, very large ship. I know some people were complaining, I saw in the chat for Twitch and also on YouTube, that 250 seemed like a pretty big hunk of change.
But
Well,
it's almost
it's
the
the
exact
same.
same as the Constellation, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different. I mean, the ship is an entirely different purpose. Though. I mean, the Constellation's been compared to the Millennium Falcon. It's almost a combat freighter, if you want to think about it. Its primary application is actually in running cargo, and doing stuff like that, and exploration, things like that. Whereas if you look at the specs on the Retaliator, it is built from the ground up for heavy space combat. It's built to destroy capital ships. It's built to disable capital ships. I mean, it's there for large scale fleet combat. So it's a totally different animal to the Constellation, but it is about the same size. but and probably about the same cost. So yeah, it makes sense that it's also 250.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, you want to talk about the next one? The other one they talked about, which was the Gladiator?
The Gladiator, which again looks really sexy. It's actually based off the Hornet design with the big round circle in the middle. We could probably fit a turret in there, but I don't want to speculate too much on that. It does resemble like the old style B-2 bombers, like not the new style B-2 bombers, but the ones that were used way back when, like the first iteration. Mm-hmm. And it looks to be a very maneuverable ship, and they've already commented on it being capable of used as a salvage ship or a multi-purpose ship, and it seems to be a very all-round universal little plane.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's a carrier bomber, and that really it's great that they're actually differentiating carrier bombers from long-range bombers, and both in terms of cost and in terms of just the specs and creating that differentiation, because I think if it really changes the dynamic of a battle if you've introduced basically a ship that's designed to be sat in a carrier bay, mm-hmm. or have ships that are designed to be sat in a carrier bay, rather than having all ships designed from the ground up to be just all of them are long range. Every single one of them has a jump drive. Because it gives a lot more flexibility in terms of how you build out your fleet.
But these are going to, if you're paying $150 for this, you're going to have to leave from a carrier, or will you be able to take it out from your hangar? It doesn't seem to be very long range.
They've commented on every single ship that they're currently selling mm-hmm. will have jump capabilities.
I thought they were kind of iffy about that a little while ago. At least when I first got into it, they were holding back whether or not all ships could jump.
Well, they were holding back whether or not all ships would start with a jump drive.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
But they have made numerous claims that all ships will be able to jump through systems.
Oh,
it would be
jump points.
Yes, using the jump points and the jump drives, because you need a jump drive to jump through the systems.
Right. This is nice in that it's small enough to fit in a carrier, and if you want to take out the jump drive and give it maybe better engines, more thrust capability, better maneuverability, then you can, because if you expect that it's just going to sit in a carrier like, say, a P-52 would for a Constellation, then who needs a jump drive?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, go ahead. We'll keep talking. I'm trying to find a good part of the video to show everybody for the guild system that we were just talking briefly about. I want to see if I can get some good video. Everything I'm getting right now is pretty beat up. Go ahead, continue.
Another interesting point would be the fact that they mentioned that Idrises can hold single-seater craft. However, since the Gladiator is a dual-seater, could it hold a dual-seater?
Sorry,
it's small enough.
Sorry, everybody, about the mic. Yeah, I know, I'm low. I'll get that fixed. I'm getting a new mixer tomorrow, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to yell.
The reason why I bring it up is because the Avenger is about the same size as the Gladiator, but is only a one-crew ship. So would the Gladiator fit in an Idris despite being a two-crew ship?
It would have to, right? They'd have to go based on dimensions. I think that probably was just an approximation, right? Where anything that's about the size of a single cruise ship, because all bombers are really going to be multi-cruise ships, if you think about it. So probably everything in that size range, in that category. But once you start getting into once you start getting into the 3-4 person cruise ships, then the size almost doubles. So
yeah.
All right, I'm showing some of the live stream now. Do you guys want to talk about what they were discussing with this guild structure?
I think you're a little bit ahead in the thing, aren't you?
No, that's the problem. It's all choppy, and I had to try to skip. So let me see if I can find a better spot.
Yeah, I think you're almost on the final slide there.
Okay.
So yeah, for the people who are worried that their guild name might not be represented well, Your guild name now comes with a code, so there can be 5 clans called, for instance, Hero Kitty Iron Adventure,
Yes.
which all have a different code, so that you can still all enjoy the same name, but still be part of different guilds or corporations. Now, one of the biggest things that I pointed out early on was that when they started showing the slides for the way that the corporations are set up, is that you really get the feeling like you're looking at a presentation of a new startup company. Like, this is how we're going to structure our divisions, and this is the kind of structure we already currently have in our organization, and all these divisions are here, they work for them, and it really gave you the sense that you were looking at a structured corporation rather than, oh, you can put these member groups in this rank and that rank, and I don't really have any control over who goes where, but I suppose they all kind of fit together. And that was one of the issues that a lot of corporation or guild systems have. Like, they have a rank system, but they don't really have the flexibility of
organizational charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
One of the things we were talking about, like, you could be a cult and say you want to be like Captain Stinky, and you're the main guy of the cult. Then everybody else could report directly to you, or you could have a organizational structure that, sorry if it's frozen on here, this is the way I recorded it, or it could be a organizational structure like a military structure. We have a general, commander, you have lieutenants and peons all the way down the line, and then you could also have a corporate structure, which was like a business would have. Yep, I am fast forwarding through here, and it's just frozen. This is the way we watched it tonight. So for those of us just joining us right now, we do have a lot of new people that have joined in. There was a major issue with the stream tonight from RSI, and so our Cloud Imperium, and so it was frozen for a long, long time. And then after it was frozen, it just stopped because it was so far behind it couldn't catch up. And so yeah, that's it. The Windows screen and pretty much all we saw most of the night. So if you didn't see the whole thing, or it was choppy for you, or just ended abruptly, it wasn't just you, it was all of us.
Yep.
Yep.
Trendane, would you like to comment on the lag situation again?
Yes, but I won't.
So basically, all we really got tonight, everybody, is we got 2 new ships that they didn't even get a chance to announce. We found them by going to the store. We got an organizational structure that was that's really nice, and it looks great. You'll be able to go to the website. You'll be able to sign up directly by clicking a link on the website and join a guild, or whatever you want to call it, an organization, a cult. And the people of that group they'll have a private chat that will be in game and also out of game. There will be notifications, so you can call out to different members of that group or guild and say, "Hey, we're getting attacked on this particular star system. We need help now." And people can jump in and come over and try to help. You're going to be able to get a private forum and a private chat also on the site, plus your own page that you'll be able to design however you want, but it'll fit within the Star Citizen look of the main site.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then one other thing was the Advanced Hunter class, or Advanced Hunter thing. Does anybody want to talk about that?
Yeah, they what they did was in the add-on section for ships under the Aegis Dynamics Avenger for new backers, they put a Advanced Hunter Avenger. However, this was merely a package, so it cost $15 more than the Aegis Dynamics Avenger. It contains the Aegis Dynamics Avenger, and it was just mislabeled. It should have been under game packages rather than add-on ships. So it's not actually a new ship.
Mm-hmm.
Moose Viper was saying there's not one clean-shaven person among you. We have a little bit of time. If anybody wants to ask any questions or what we think about whatever, we might have skipped some stuff, go ahead and just write it in the chat, and we'll answer them as best we can.
So while we're gathering the questions up, you want to talk about the next great starship?
Oh, yeah. Next great starship.
The contest.
It's a contest. So it's basically they're opening registration on October 31st and ending on December 31st, and you can have a team of 3 people who can design and model and rig a 3D spaceship. So basically, all it takes is either you build a ship in, like, say, Blender or 3D Studio Max, You design it, you model it out, including surface textures, and then you rig it. So you need somebody who can do animations, and then you enter your ship into the contest, and then you win whatever.
It has to be fully rigged, though, right? It has to.
It's got to be fully rigged.
Which,
so you
for
have
people who aren't familiar with 3D modeling. What does that mean?
that is basically animating all of the different doors and ladders and whatever else you have. So basically, the way animation typically works in say a program like Blender is that you have a little scroll bar on the bottom, and you scroll through. It's basically like a time bar, like you're watching a video, and as you scroll through the video, the doors open and the doors close, and each segment of the video represents a different animated process. So what you can do is you can build out all the animations in a single file, along with the modeling and the rendering, and then you can send it off to somebody else, and they can go ahead and
skin it.
Right, exactly. They can skin it, and then they can take specific chunks and say play this time to this time. When this input happens or whatever, they can actually stick it in the programming. So yeah, it can get pretty complex, but it is actually it's a lot of fun to do. But what I was gonna say is that I noticed something on the page for the next great Starship thing, and one of the partners, the first partner, is YouTube, and Twitch is not listed there.
Yeah, that is one thing I want to say. If they take anything away from this event tonight, they need to start using Twitch. Here's the deal. With that kind of upload speed that they potentially had at that particular place, they could have dual streamed it, no problem. Like, I'm right now dual streaming to two things, and it's very easy to dual stream. All you have to do is set up another setup, and you could have just split it apart. Half goes to YouTube, half goes to Twitch, and people could have split the chat, but who cares? The chat over on YouTube was so ridiculous, All right, so we actually have a question. We have a couple questions, okay? Eric Pasta says, regardless of whether or not you own one, I want to know what each one of your favorite ships are. If that's too difficult to answer, just tell me which one you're most excited about. I'll go first.
Easy.
I'm with the Freelancer.
Thank you.
That's what Trendane is. All right. So Trendane's Freelancer. What about you, Perfekt Nerd?
I gotta say, either the Constellation or the Hornet. One of the two.
I'm most excited about the Retaliator, but
it piqued your interest.
Yes, I'm most excited about the Retaliator, but what I'm looking most forward to is flying my Hornet into dogfights. That's I gotta say,
yeah. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little claustrophobic, to be quite honest with you, and so I'm not all that excited about ships that don't have a place for me to stand up in. I'm sitting looking at the Hornet cockpit, and it's just like right in there. You're like a fighter, like it looks like an A-10 cockpit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Next question from Mr. Boildown: a Rear Admiral plus Gladiator, or Colonel plus Retaliator? Which would you choose, or Rear Admiral plus Hornet?
Well, seeing as the Colonel and the Retaliator is a Hornet and a Retaliator, and a Rear Admiral plus a Hornet is a Constellation and a Colonel. Well, a Colonel. I guess I'd have to go for the Hornet and the Retaliator, which is the Colonel package plus a Retaliator.
I already revealed that. I was excited about the Connie and the Hornet, so
yeah.
Probably the last one.
Okay. All right. Anything else we got here? What else were we going to talk about? Anything else? Yes, Lost Vector, my mic is low. Sorry about that.
So this is a beer.
Oh. This was not our normal broadcast, guys. We were doing this as just something to talk about after the fact. We were hoping it would have been a full live stream and we could have just come out and covered everything that they talked about. But they cut it short and it was nothing but lag. So unfortunately, we really didn't have much to talk about tonight. But We do this live every Tuesday, and everybody here is welcome to please come and join us for our live show, and we will, by Tuesday, have figured out what everything was supposed to be. We'll watch the video tomorrow on YouTube or wherever, and we'll catch everything up, and then on Tuesday we'll talk about all that. Trendane, what are you drinking?
Well, before I tell you what I'm drinking, since it is the purpose of this live event, regardless of the state it was in, was the 1-year anniversary for Robert Space Industries doing this the Star Citizen thing. So what I wanted to do was wish them a happy birthday.
Oh,
I don't have any bread, so I will use liquid bread instead. So that's one birthday down.
That's a crazy looking torch you got there.
It's my jeweler's torch.
I wonder, do you smoke crack?
No. No. I just interrogate people. So what I'm drinking with this delicious dark beverage is, I have to look at it because I can't remember what the name of it is. It's by Clown Shoes Brewery. It is called Blackhorn Unidragon. It is a Russian Imperial Stout. And it is
a big bottle.
Magical. It is absolutely delish.
Yum.
Yeah, very, very good. I am very impressed with this.
We actually have a few more questions coming in. All right, good. Give you guys some time to ask some. We'll roll up here. Question from Doug. 350 or an M50? What's an M50?
I thought it was a kind of firecracker.
M50 is it's like a space Ferrari or something. It just goes really fast.
But the 350R is supposed to be the fastest ship you can own.
And it's like a BMW.
It's like a toss-up. The 350R has a little bit more firepower and might be a little bit more slower because of its mass, or a little bit slower because of its mass. And the M50 might be faster, but with slightly less firepower. I don't think there will be too much difference between the two.
All right, we'll get into it because we're going to ask. Everybody wants to talk about space racing, so we'll get to that in a second. Do you think the bald guy in the audience looked like the main character in the hangar? I'm absolutely sure that they are using their staff right now for the heads and stuff in this game. 100% guarantee that. But if it's maybe, do you have like a timestamp about when time that happened?
Every time they panned across the audience, he was like front and center.
He's like,
I was like, look, that's that guy from Midnight Oil. Well, apparently it's
all right. Question from Pubes, Elite Pubes.
From who?
Elite Pubes.
Okay.
Pubes Leet.
Pubes Leet.
Mm-hmm.
These are very elite pubes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have you guys heard anything involving the Constellation variants? I originally purchased the Digital Mercenary just for the LTI. I've been hoping the variants will be purchasable before LTI for veteran backers is up. What do you guys think?
Well, we're not really sure if all the ships that came out over the course of the live stream are all the ships that are going to be on sale until the 14th. It might be prudent just to wait a little bit, or at least a couple of hours, and see if any other ships are coming up for sale, because when they first put the Retaliator in the store, it was broken for about 10 minutes. When they first put the Avenger in the store, it was a package that was mislabeled in the wrong category. So they're doing it all manually and by hand, and there might be a lot more ships that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so everyone wants to talk about space racing. I absolutely know nothing about space racing. I'm hoping you guys know a little bit about it, because I'm just space racing.
They haven't really talked much about space racing. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's almost a mini game in the universe compared to all the other stuff that they're doing. But as far as I know, really, the 350R and the M50 are probably the only ships that are capable of or are built for for speed more than anything else. The M50 more so, I guess, because of its lighter load. But I don't know if right now there's only a couple. If there's only a couple possible ships, it'll probably be pretty boring to watch a bunch of M50s racing in space. And I don't even know how that would work. Like, how would you design a course for that?
Well, you can do it like they do with airplane racing, with like those circular rings that are in the sky, and you have to go through them. So you're not Otherwise, you could just cut from one spot to the next and win.
I think they may already have it. If you look on the RSI website, they had the latest galactic guide posted, the Ellis system, which is apparently listed as a galactic racetrack.
Oh, cool.
So
Didn't catch that. That's awesome.
it only just came up right before the live event started.
Trendane is so bitter about this live event.
I need to eat more pineapple and more celery because that will sweeten me up. And I'm so angry. I could just spit, and I never spit. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, my God.
What kind of guy you are.
Yeah, in the Galactic Guide for the Ellis system, there is one image at the top, which actually features a ring and has little ships flying through it.
Yeah, you'd
so
have to
it'll
fly through rings.
yeah, so it'll be a checkpoint system, and knowing that there is a maximum speed for every single ship, and every single ship can reach this maximum speed, it'll probably rely more on navigation and acceleration than it will on actual top speed.
Right, it's got to.
What little of the video I was actually able to see? There was something in the hangar with two flaming hoops, and they were jumping over the ship. What the hell was that?
That was the buggy.
Hangar. Yeah, Wingman's hangar. They did like 2 Wingman hangar ago. They set up 2 rings, and they did that in the studio. They didn't. It's not something you can actually do.
I would hope not. They're burning up all the oxygen in that chamber.
No, those were oxygen tanks, and he jumps over and he hits them like bowling balls. They explode and it releases more oxygen back in.
Oh, I see. How very Mario Kart.
Burned up.
Yeah, it was very Mario Kart, exactly. All right, well, if nobody has anything else, I guess we could probably wrap it up. Appreciate everyone coming to join us tonight. Like I said, check our Twitter. I am at Geekdomo. Perfekt Nerd, what's your Twitter?
I am at Perfekt Nerd.
Just like that, okay.
Just like that.
Just like
Core of Existence at Core of Existence.
And Trendane.
Salty bitchy fuck. No, wait, no, sorry. It's at Trendane on Twitter. Sorry. They practically rhyme. It's,
Eric Pasta wants to know how many space-themed beers and boozes are there? I don't know any. Rocket Man. There's got to be some Rocket Man something somewhere. But anyway, follow us on Twitter or follow this Twitch channel right here, and we will. We're back every week, so we'll do a much better show.
Are we going to have the?
What's
Sorry,
that?
Hold on, sorry. To those of you wondering about Wingman's hangar, it's been postponed till next week.
Next week.
17th. Yeah.
We'll talk before then. But we'll get all this stuff sorted out. We'll come out with a really nice show on Tuesday, kind of wrapping everything up correctly, not so rushed. And thanks a lot for the comment, Agent Zero, on the ramp-ups. Oh, and also, when this is up on, it'll be all of our YouTubes, and I will, at least on my channel, put the annotations for everybody's other channel. So
that was my question.
Yeah, you'll be able to click on these squares and subscribe to the person directly. So, Dark wants me to come to TeamSpeak. Is that the Imperial TeamSpeak?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one he's talking about.
Right.
Is it back up? I thought it was down.
I'll come
No,
over
it's
in just
back
a
up.
minute. Thanks everybody for coming, and really, really frustrating for all of us. I'm sorry that we had nothing better to show you, but very frustrating.
Very.
Good night, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon. This is the StarCast saying, see ya.
Be careless.
Goodbye.
Have a good